Hey guys, it's Gus,
And Carlos from Hardware Unplugged.
and today we're going to be reviewing the Vancer ICE Pad and the Wuxiang 2 mousepad. But before we get started, please make sure to hit that like button to show support, and if you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe. With that being said,
Let's begin.
I think one of them took the. I took him. I got so one up here.
Dude, they're both back to me.
I got one down.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, no.
I got it.
Dude, help me! Over there, come on. Oh, sorry.
I got one down over here. I got this over here.
Oh, damn it. Right. Dude, that was...
You got that. Oh, right. No. I got one. Wow.
Oh, this.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, I did. Oh,
I never make that again, dude.
alright, so we've been using the Vancer ICE Pad for about, what, like a good
A
2
week and a
weeks?
half.
Yeah, like a week and a half,
A week and a
almost
half,
2
yep.
weeks, yeah. Came in this Tony the Tiger looking ass package. And the Wuxiang 2 came in this square box, right? So the Wuxiang rolled out flat, right?
Yep.
Rolled out flat. The
No problems.
The Vancer ICE Pad, it did take about a week for it to really lay down flat
Yeah,
completely, right?
it did take a few days for it to
Yeah.
sit down on the desk.
It also
for
came
sure.
with this microfiber cloth, which is a necessity. We'll get into that in a bit, right? So first, just start with the dimensions, right? So we'll put the dimensions somewhere up here. But clearly, the Vancer ICE and the Wuxiang 2 are bigger than the Glorious ICE Pad.
Yep.
The Wuxiang 2, I believe, is the bigger one, just by a little
It
bit,
is.
right?
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
is. I think it's taller, right? It's like a little
Yes,
taller, and a little
taller.
bit more wider.
Yes,
But not by a
yeah,
whole lot, but
yeah.
yeah, it is the bigger one.
Yeah.
Out of the two.
Yeah. However, I believe what I think the thickness here. I think that
I think this one's actually the thinnest one.
Yeah,
out
right?
of out of the Glorious ICE and
Yeah,
the Vancer.
yeah.
You can even look at them side by side.
Yeah.
Like literally, this one's literally just like the thinnest
Yes,
one.
thinner.
I think it's like 2 millimeters, 2.5
Yeah.
millimeters. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll leave all the
it's-
specs of,
yeah.
of all that.
It's either the same as
somewhere.
the Glorious or maybe a little thinner, right?
Mhm.
But for sure, the Vancer ICE Pad is
It's
the
the
thickest
thickest,
one.
yes.
4mm stick.
Yep,
Yeah, 4mm
yep.
stick, right?
Also, this one. So the Wuxiang 2. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name. But this one's also the only one that is non-stitched.
Oh yeah.
And we'll get into the reason why I kind of don't like
Yeah,
them, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
we'll get into that more later on.
Yeah. So the freaking so the Vancer ICE Pad. So even though it's 4mm stick,
Yeah.
it's really not that squishy, right? It's pretty firm. I'll be honest.
It's actually quite firm, honestly.
Yeah.
So I remember in the beginning when we first unboxed, I was like, oh look, it has some squish to it,
Yeah.
dude. It has some
Which
squish
it
to it.
does, right? More than the
Uh,
other two.
And I tried playing. Well, so I played with it. Not that I
Yeah.
tried. I played with it,
Yeah.
and I never really noticed that I was setting my mouse pad inside.
Yeah.
And so really like kind of like squishing it in because of how firm the base
Yes,
is.
pretty
So it really doesn't do anything,
It
honestly.
doesn't.
It's just really thick and just really firm, which is
Yes.
good. I don't really mind that, honestly.
Yeah. For the stitching, so the stitching on the ICE Pad, the Vancer ICE Pad to be specific, is thinner than the Glorious ICE Pad, right?
Yes, and it's more, in my opinion, more tighter and just way better than the ICE Pad.
Yeah.
You could even tell that you know what's funny? The ICE Pad, even just looking at it right now, honestly,
Yeah.
it looks like it has that fuzzy. It has that fuzzy stitching.
That crappy stitching.
Yeah, we all know exactly, right?
Yeah.
Like what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It has that little weird fuzzy stitching. To be fair though, it hasn't really started to fray. At least not that a
Not
whole
a
lot.
whole
Like
lot.
right here, like look, like at the bottom here, it does look a little like if it wants to fray, but it really hasn't.
It's not disgusting. or
Yeah,
anything
no.
like that,
So
nah.
props to Glorious, I guess, when it comes to that stitching.
Yes.
But the Vancer does have better stitching, in my opinion.
It
It's
does.
way better.
Now going to the stitching, so the non-stitching on the Wuxiang ICE, what you think about that?
So two things. I do like how they made it really thin.
Yeah.
Because that does help it in a sense that if you put your forearm on top of the pad,
On top of the pad.
you really won't feel the non-stitch part.
Yes.
However, every now and then, when you want to track down and you have to go like this, back
Yes.
up, it is very rough. It is very rough, and you can feel
yes,
it.
It is.
I would be lying to you if I said that I felt it all the time in game. I really kind of didn't. It's more one of those things that if you want to pay attention to it, you will.
You'll notice it.
Trust me, you will. But let's say you're in a rank match and you're just stomping and you're getting intense moments. I really couldn't feel it then, right? But do note that it is pretty sharp, and if you're one of those guys that is sensitive, to the skin, you probably might feel that.
Or if you play in the bottom right here, just like risking stuff like that with your wrist, no.
Yeah, you're probably gonna feel it.
You're not gonna like that for sure.
Yeah.
What else? So humidity. Did these get affected by humidity?
Funny that you asked. So the pad itself, they didn't get affected by humidity.
No, not the pad itself.
The pad itself didn't. But if you
sweat?
live in a very hot and if you live in a very humid environment, you know that your forearm sweats, right? Your forearm does sweat. It happens, whatever.
Yeah.
I noticed that this one, the Wuxiang 2, and the Glorious Ice Pad were the ones that got sticky on my forearm, dude. The most. This one does too. I'm not gonna lie, it does. But it's not as bad as this one or the Glorious Ice.
Yes.
By the way, the Glorious Ice gets dirty hella fast.
Exactly. Right? I don't know if the camera will be able to pick this up, but I leave my hand here and then I go to the back. It'll leave some streaks.
You leave streaks.
Super easy. The Vancer Pad will leave streaks too, but they're hardly noticeable. They watch. Let me leave my hand here.
Yeah.
They're not as noticeable. They're not as noticeable
as
the ones
not.
on the
They're
Glorious
really
Ice
not
Pad.
noticeable. Yeah.
So the Wuxiang, we can clearly notice them because that's the design, right?
Design, yep.
So, that's where the microfiber cloth comes in. So I'm glad that Vancer threw that in there because with the microfiber cloth, you just spray a little bit of water, or not even sometimes you don't even have to spray water if it's not that dirty.
Yeah.
Right?
If it's because you know what's funny? It's actually good that you say that because we have dogs, right?
Yes.
And sometimes the hairs will get stuck here.
Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't get stuck, but they'll lay down flat here sometimes. It's kind of easy for me just to go like this.
Yeah.
And then I won't feel any of that, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to dirt, the cloth definitely comes into play.
Yes.
And
stuff.
Bam, it's so easy for you to clean. By the way, it dries up really fast too.
Super
just,
fast. Yes.
Wipe it down, boom,
go.
it's dry, and you can use it. So that's one of the things I really like about it.
Yes.
Texture wise, right?
Yeah,
that's on to texture.
That's
right?
the main difference between all these three.
Yes.
Honestly,
this is the only one that has this like bumpy feel. You can even feel it. It almost feels kind of like grainy.
Yes.
With your fingers, and if you even look close to it, I'll give you guys like a more closer shot to it. You can see the weaving, I guess, or like little bumps on it, like tiny little bumps, tiny little bumps. And that's the thing that is different from this pad than these two. These are more just flat, right?
Just
with the little film,
flat.
with the little film on top.
They're the smoothest to the touch too.
Yes,
right?
they are.
The other two, the Wuxiang and the Ice Pad.
They are.
Glorious Ice Pad. But yeah, the Vancer Pad, it has this like, almost like, you see like little grainy little bumps you feel. Like almost like it has a little bit of dirt almost, right? It's textured.
It's not rough on the skin though.
But it's not rough on the skin.
So
it's not
we need to point that out.
So, we feel that because it's textured, this mousepad stays the most consistent out of the three.
Yep.
Because when we play with all three mousepad, we tried them out for like a week and a half, right? Just going back and forth, swapping them out. So, we noticed quickly that the Ice Pad, the Glorious Ice Pad, got dirty real quick and got affected by that super quick. Like, I had to wipe it down like within hours of playing.
Yeah.
I had to wipe it down. right?
You want what's funny? Yes, I do agree with you, and I remember me telling you. I think it was either yesterday or today, right?
Yeah.
That I was playing with it, and I was telling you, yo, if I put my fingers on it, it feels like it has kind of like cuts. It feels like it has kind of like graininess. On it. That was because it was dirty. Because since you wiped it right now,
it feels smooth.
Before we did the video, I wasn't even feeling it, and again, like I told you, dude, I don't feel these cuts. On it.
Yep.
So for sure, it's dirt, and it gets dirt really freaking fast, dude. Like really fast. This one, I don't even, I think I only cleaned it once in like the days that I had it like up on top of my desk.
I was actually
seriously.
I was telling you a few days ago. To be honest, I just wiped it down just to wipe it down because I did not feel it slow down drastically enough for me to have the need to clean it. To be honest, the whole time we used it, right? The Wuxiang 2, this one, it does get affected by dirt and sweat.
It does,
but not as much as
not
the
as much
Ice
as the
Pad.
Glorious Ice Pad.
I did clean it like about a day in. I did it like after a day. we'll have to wipe it down, which is
I
still
will
pretty
notice
frequent.
dirt every now and
Which is
then,
still pretty
yeah.
frequent, right, for the mouse pad, but compared to the Vancer ICE, right, this one has stayed the most consistent.
Yeah, I honestly don't know why. I don't know. I can't wrap my head around it. Honestly, why?
It has
But-
to be because of the texture. Right?
You think so?
It has to be because of that texture coating, dude. Cause yeah, dude. So when we played it, by the way, these are super fast mouse pads.
Yeah,
Extremely
they're
fast mouse pads.
They're pretty fast. No,
As a matter of fact, I was playing at 1.5 sensitivity with Dog Control Plus. I had to bump it down to 1.0, 1.1.
It's good that you mentioned that because with this one, I was playing at 1.5. I played
yeah.
fine. 1.5, I played fine.
Yeah.
This one, because it's really fast, I had to lower down my sensitivity to 1.2, which
Okay,
is, by the way, I never do.
Yes.
And you know, I was doing some pretty sick stuff with it once my
Yes.
brain got adjusted to it and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I did this one's the fastest one.
Yes,
out of
it's
the
the
two,
fastest
right?
one for sure. 100%.
So-
I can confirm. Yeah.
I literally had to lower down my sensitivity
Yeah.
for me to play with this pad,
Yes.
right? Which I never do, right? We're right. Do I ever change my sensitivity ever
No.
with any pad?
No.
I had to with this one for sure, right?
Yes.
So.
Another thing. So, this is clearly the fastest, right?
Mhm.
And then I will say would be the Wuxiang too.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. I agree.
Because you do feel this, like, for being a fast pad, you do feel this heavy control to it. Right?
Yes.
This heaviness to it, right?
I know. Some of you guys probably will be like, no, you don't.
It's
You guys know what
fast,
you're talking
no.
about. But we're literally
dude,
using all three back and
dude.
forth. And when you have all three back and forth and you use them for hours, dude, we're gaming for
Dude, you're
hours
everywhere.
testing these pads out.
Yeah.
Going from this,
Yeah.
then going to the ice, then going back to this,
Yes.
then going to this.
Yeah.
You could tell. You
tell,
could
yes.
like immediately be like,
Yes.
dude, this one has very, very low static friction.
Yes.
This one has some sort of like heaviness
it's
to
still
it.
low
right?
static
It is
friction.
still. I
Really
know.
low,
It like
easy to move.
We sound crazy. I know,
Yeah.
but right, this one has like
There's
this little.
this heavy control to it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Heaviness.
Yeah.
The ice pad, that one's still the slowest, right?
Yeah.
It's the slowest, but I feel like it's because we wore it down.
Because we did.
And because we did wear it down a lot because we've been having it for a while, right?
Yeah.
And because it gets dirty real quick.
Yeah.
Real
Yep.
quick. Like when it comes down, like if you have all three, right, and you just go back and forth, you're gonna be like, oh, these are the same.
Yeah.
But when you play in game, right, do the B180 Ti Kovac scenario, you're gonna be able to tell the because you have to really micro adjust that one, right? You're gonna tell which one's faster and which one's slower clearly.
Yep.
Trust me.
Yeah.
So for sure the Vancer is the fastest. Then I go with the Wuxiang.
Yep.
And I go with the Glorious Ice.
Yeah.
Speaking of the stitching, right? So for it being 4mm stick, you can feel it. You can feel it like
can.
quite a bit more
You
than
can.
the Glorious Ice Pad, right? Because the Glorious Ice Pad is relatively low, right?
Yeah. It doesn't.
And this
really
because
well.
it's thick and it's not that squishy, you know.
Mhm.
Like I feel like it was kind of pointless making it 4mm stick because they really didn't do anything to the
I'm not gonna
base,
lie.
right? You know,
yeah.
it really didn't do anything.
It didn't.
You know what I mean?
The thickness had zero play
Yeah.
when it comes to the pad. You know, I don't know. We could be wrong, right? Maybe they
Could
did
be
it
wrong.
for other reasons, right?
Could
Maybe you know, I don't know. Maybe for better grip. I don't know,
Something, yeah.
right? But in our personal opinion, really didn't do anything
Yeah.
to help out the pad.
I wish it would have been squishy. Honestly, I wish it would have been squishy.
Yeah, the only thing that really did help out, I would say, was probably like the texture. It's,
The coating, dude.
It's texture.
That
It's-
that
it's
freaking
good.
coating is really good. Like any other. So if there's any other manufacturer out here that's trying to make a freaking ice pad, whatever, Wuxiang, whatever, blah, or any updates, I'll recommend them to have that texture
Yes.
ice coating film
Yes.
on it because it's that texture that makes it more consistent.
Mhm.
And even though it gets dirty, right, just like all these other pads, it doesn't get dirty enough to where I have to wipe it down
Yeah.
frequently. Like
Yeah.
not as fast as the ice, right? Not as fast as the Wuxiang. So this mouse pad for sure. Out of the three mouse pads, well, before we get into out of the three mouse pads, which one do you like?
Okay. Okay. I do want to get into that.
Yes.
But one thing I will say about the Vancer pad that I really didn't like that we just
Yes.
forgot to mention.
Oh, this thing.
Why?
This thing, yeah.
Like what? Vancer, you didn't have to do that, dude. Like I don't understand why companies do that. Right? Just please take that out, or please
Yes.
take that if you're gonna make mouse pads. Don't ever do that. Okay. So out of the three, right? Out of the
Yes.
three, which ones I personally like?
Yeah, you
the one that
personally
I
like, yeah.
personally really like is the glow. Nah, just playing. Nah, it's the Vancer pad. Surprisingly, the fastest one out of out of him.
Yes.
It was kind of close. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie. I really like this one too.
Me
but
too.
the Vancer was my bread and butter for some
Do you
reason.
know why I prefer the Vancer over the Wuxiang?
Why?
because it has a design, and I like the design.
I like the design too. I like the design too.
I think Vancer's working on having the designs on these, I believe, right?
Mm.
I hope they do, because it'll make the mousepad that much better, right?
Yeah.
But the reason why I prefer the Vancer pad over the Wuxiang too, right, is because they more consistent.
Yeah, they
because I didn't have to wipe it down.
Yes.
Frequent at all. If anything, like very little, dude. Very
I'm
little.
more focused on beating people instead of having a.
Exactly.
Man, it's just weird, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And even though it was faster and we had to bump down our sensitivity, it didn't matter really, because
once we got used to it, it was good to go.
Exactly. It stayed consistent out of the 3 pads, and I know I had to do it because of that texture code.
Yeah.
So Vancer, great job, dude.
Good
Holy
job.
crap,
Good job,
great
guys.
job, dude.
I will say, EspTiger, you guys did a good job too.
Yes,
Honestly,
they did.
I do like the pad as well. If you want artsy, a really good low static friction
it
type
was
of
cool
pad,
on the camera. Look at the rainbow stuff.
again, if you like art stuff, right, and you want a really good performer too, this is definitely your probably like your go-to pad.
Just make sure you have a microfiber cloth at hand at all times.
Yes. I guess it's such a Glorious because
dude,
there's no reason for you to buy a Glorious basically.
there's really not. Like, actually, as a matter of fact, because you know how whenever the Glorious ICE Pad review dropped, whenever everybody dropped the review, right, everybody had negative things to say, right, because of that coating. It was like inconsistent, or something happened to the production line, right?
Remember, they were wear down and they got dead spots.
Really
I literally saw like a
quick,
Twitter
right?
video. I don't think I'll be able to find it. This was like
Yes.
literally like 3 years ago.
Yes.
But somebody put the mouse and they flicked their mouse
And it stopped.
and it literally just stopped. Like
Yes,
just
it's really freaking
and
bad.
Ours was like
Yeah, it was
just
pretty
smooth,
smooth.
and we're blessed that we got a really good one.
Yes,
Honestly.
and unfortunately, I did reach out to Glorious and asked a while back, asked them if they could send us a sample of the mouse pad, right, just to see, because I'm not gonna spend $20 on another.
Yeah,
pad,
no,
right?
no.
Not now, hell no, right?
Why not?
So I did reach out to them, see if they could send one out, to see if they can probably fix that and whatnot, but they didn't reach back. So that's unfortunate for them, right? Because if it would have been if they would have had all those things solved, figured out and whatnot, it would have probably been a good recommendation. But even for $20 on Amazon, I will honestly stay away from it. I will stay away from it because it gets dirty super quick and it wears down super fast. And I don't know if they still have those problems. So
So basically, EspTiger or the Vancer Pad are the ones that we would kind of recommend you guys to go ahead and check out, basically.
Yeah, so if you guys do want to pick up the Vancer Pad, they're going to be available on Lethal Gaming, so code plug for savings, right? And they're going to be available, and for the Wuxiang, you'll be able to pick it up in Addis. We're going to leave affiliate links for both products down below. But yeah, thank you so much, Vance, for saying out the Vancer ICE Pad. We actually had a great time with it.
Yeah,
and I can't wait to see what else you guys will bring out in terms of mousepad
guys.
today. This is a pretty good mousepad, surprisingly, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely surprised me.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. Links to this will be down below. This is Gus.
And Carlos from Hardware Unplugged.
And we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.